All right, the next, hope you guys are all enjoying our first poetry reading tonight at Tuck. My next guest is a very good friend of mine. I would venture to say now, Polly might, I don't know where I am on Polly's speed dial, but remember back in the '90s when you had the phones and like you were the most important people were like 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 10 or whatever. So, but I would venture to say that Pauly has is my best friend. He is definitely been a better friend to me than I am to him or have been to him. He's been amazing to this ministry, and he only lives a couple hours south of me. So, I've been able. I don't know if I could. I think I could say this. He just moved into a new house, so I'm looking forward to going to his new house. And of course, he's been over at mine many times. I will say this really quickly too, that the first person, Paulie can always give you this story. He doesn't have to tonight, but the first person that I ever called who was a quote unquote flat earther was Paulie, and I think he was like doing some sort of, I don't know, his carpentry work or something like that. I just buzzed him in his cell phone, and I'm some stranger, and this was like way back in the day, and just started talking to him, and he was like, this is the weirdest phone call I've ever had. But from there, a relationship sparked, and he's been in my life ever since. And hope he stays there for a long time. And you're gonna see that he's got a killer new office. I'm really excited. For those of you who've been following Pauly like on my channel and stuff, he's been in his RV for a couple of years as they were, working on the house issues. But he's got a killer new office. So here he is. Bring him up to the stage, Pauly Hart, and I'm getting out of here as quickly as I can. You are on, Pauly.
What's up? I've got some poems. I traveled the world, talked to God Most High, seen what there is to see, enough for 2 lives. Done what there was, and then I did it again. I had a life full of goodness and a life full of sin. I've had all there was, but what I couldn't find was someone to be there for the rest of my life. All that I needed, but not what I want. I saw her pleading, her cold was now hot. She was the tool belt, and I was the tool. She screwed me over and made me the fool. Needing a man for the reason of 3. My love cost my life, not even sex was for free. So here I am broken, pissed off and alone. You thought you owned me, set pick for the zone. But I'm not the liar, that job is all you. I still know what I want, only you are confused. You didn't want me, you just needed a man to fit in your cage like some master plan. But now I am free, girl, unchained by your claws. You held me the hostage, put up martial laws. You said it was money, you said I was bad, so why do your children still call me their dad? You walked towards hell, I've walked towards life. I've traveled the world, talked to God Most High. Nothing. Pretense meant nothing to me when I looked into her eyes, gazing into coolness, matching spy for spy. She read me like a Bible, chapter, book, and verse. All the words dried on my tongue, all the lines rehearsed. Pretense meant nothing as I looked into her eyes. All I could do was think of love, and moments passed us by. Life sucker. It was like the first time she saw him leaning into the pool and gazing in. It was like the very first time she saw him leaning. It was that time she had the urge and she pushed. She pushed so hard. And now she had plenty of time to think about what she did. Plenty of time on C Block in cell 506. Thick lips. Thick lips slur the speech that breeds lies and discrepancies, hypocrisy, and lousy statements of half-truth. Thick lips make promises with a forked tongue. Thick lips kiss well. Thick lips drip poisonous drool, making me nauseated with the stench of a whore's perfume. Thick lips conceal the truth of a vampiric bite that drains the precious lifeblood. These lips of ours, so thick and supple, are nothing more than slave ships under no embargo other than truth. Jezariah's recollection. I saw the waves crashing, rising, churning. I saw the arms older, rutting, lifted. I saw the sea stopping, pausing, thinking. I saw the eyes question, wonder, believe. In the light of the ramrod golden sun I saw, in the glory of Yahuwah's chosen people, in the presence of the outcast prince deliverer, in the light of the ramrod golden sun I know. We ran till the divide, smiling, laughing, feeling our hearts racing, our children laughing, screaming. We caught up our children, cheering and smiling. We were free from harm. That is at least what they say. Then I heard the chariots, smelled the smoke, the dust. I called the thorn and gave the call, the alarm. I warned of the impending doom, felt our loss, our sorrow, our shame. In the light of the ramrod golden sun, I fear. Then I saw the waves stopping, pausing, lifting. The arms older, ruddy, lowering. The waves current, churning, crashing, falling. The eyes question, fear, and die. In the light of the ramrod golden sun, I believe. Daydream. She squinted and laughed and looked up dreamily at my friend who played the guitar. Someday she will cry because her dad rapes her, but today she smiles dreamily at my friend as he plays. Evangelist. Evangelist, evangelist, come blow your horn. Evangelist, evangelist is stuck on porn. Evangelist, evangelist, take all our funds. Evangelist, evangelist is on the run. Evangelists blow in, evangelists blow up, evangelists blow out. Who cleans up your mess? O mighty evangelist. Set the pace. My soul is poured out like water. My spirit tires of me. I have nothing left but you, Lord. I have nothing left but thee. This is my story and also my prayer that you, dear Lord, will set the pace and you will take me there. Those were selections from my first book of poetry, Stupid Mind Tricks. This is from one of my other poem books, Book of Love and Laughter. This is what I tell people to buy for their grandmothers. That's for college kids. Various times. More often than not have I ever once thought I would be in such a place as this. And at various times with the wind through the chimes, I could love you so much more than this. Though you knew me the same, knew my faults and my gains, even the split hairs on my head, I should love you, my Lord, as the songs on a chord play your sweet tune in my head. For everything. For every string that is tied down, another string is loosened somewhere. For every man in battle gown, someone is broken to in prayer. For every wrong, there is a right. For every day, there is a night. For every sinner who can't cope, there is a God, there is a hope. Intention. Oh well, I try not to fight the claim of my election, somehow passing by life and took rejection, trudging through the dark and found illusion. I was all but dead, but I claimed protection. He took my life and gave redemption. Privilege. And as many as cast him down, he shall rise to face again. Though many cast him down, he takes on almighty blows. For as many cast him down, he will rise to come again, save one who casts him down, and that one who lives inside. For when he's the one who casts him down, he lays prostrate on the ground. Barren land. So here I stand in the wilderness of another place. I stand on this ground as a foreigner on strange soil, but none have been meant to roam these lands such as I. It is their world, their place, their time. The wind, I feel it breathing, whispering secrets of another man's home. So here I am, and I stand here alone, a foreigner in another man's land. Earth, wind, rain, and fire, I hear the melody lifted higher. I feel the wind and feel the sand, the remnant of this barren land. I wish my dreams would become true. Lord, let this land begin anew. Someone, somewhere. I was on the edge of anywhere, and I stood motionless before a sea of torturous thought and hate, something seething, pulsing, breathing, biting. All I had to do was fish. But I resisted the urge of death. Anywhere but anywhere, I cried out. He took my hand and led me to a somewhere. I'm just a no one trying to tell anyone about a someone who loves everyone. One Christ. 50 stout warriors clad in mail, all wielding swords, all waiting to prevail. 100 horsemen riding their awesome beasts of war, lances, shields, and armor shining they adore. 1,000 archers set on an impregnable fort, piercing careless soldiers finding game to sport. 10,000 chariots gleaming, 10,000 riders strong, an army in an army so great along the throng. 1,000,000 footmen ready with sword and shield and mail, all waiting for their death that day or waiting to prevail. One newborn babe, one precious boy, not a mighty man of all. One God, one man, one Christ the Lamb stands more powerful than all. Go for it. When life seems to drag you down and life's problems make you drown, then you should always look around and go for it. It's a simple, simple way. Questions never do obey. So then you look around and say, I'll go for it. When life's decisions pass you by and all time does is fly, don't you fret, don't you cry, just go for it. And when seeing is not believing, you go for it. Josh. They called him Josh because he was just a kid, and he had eyes like, he had a mop of black curly hair like our mom did, and his eyes, he was my brother, we were raised together, but his eyes, he liked to be by himself a lot, always seemed to be thinking, and he had beautiful eyes. When he smiled at you, you couldn't help smile back, and his eyes were fire and love. I loved him with all of my soul, but they killed him at age 33, and I could still see his eyes filled with peace and forgiveness underneath those thorns. Yes, I can see those eyes, and they tell the whole story. Fulcrum shift. I was displaced and I was moved by the power you showed. I was knocked down by the sheer force of your blow. I was taken, it was shaken by the power that you gave. I was taken aback by the utter elegance of soul. You who shifted the heavens now move me. You who cast the stars into place now change me. I was swallowed in your relentless and all-consuming love for me, and I love you in return. Fulcrum shift, the power of you. Love came over. Love came over for tea and sat down with me. It came over for tea, it did, and I did not expect it. But love came over for tea, and all I had was water, but it did not mind, for it was love, and you know how love can be. Free to decide. Fearless and free, we change ourselves to become more than what we could have imagined. Our lives become a small stone washed upon the shore of limitless supply. We stand back upon the horizon of our fortune and look at the accomplishments forsaken. We mentally see our past and imagine the future, less provocative than we'd ever seen, full of choice and futile hope. We realize that the choices desired are often destroyed. Fearless and free, we free ourselves. Fearless and free, we heal ourselves. Let no man rule your destiny. Let no man rule your life. Breath of God. As dawn breaks the new day, skips over the cloud tops breathing. How can you breathe? I asked today. I breathe because the Lord first breathed me. As morning wakes, the meadowlark sings its morning song of happiness and joy. How can you sing? I asked the lark. I sing because the Lord first sung me. As the sun rays shine, the morning dew shines itself upon me. How can you shine? I asked the dew. I shine because the Lord first shone me. And as night falls, I, already sleeping in my bed, forget the beauty the Lord gives each day. How could I have forgotten? I asked the Lord. You forgot because you first forgot me. And this will be my last one. He was God's child. He had dirty hands and matted hair. He was a poor boy who wore clothes with holes. He slept in a small cardboard box and always sang the blues. But he was God's child. She wore thick glasses and had freckles. She had ponytails and wore braces. She was pear-shaped with unsightly wrinkles. She wore orthopedic shoes with bad aroma. But she was God's child. He had an ugly face and grubby hands. He was a poor boy from a large family. He didn't have many friends. He was misunderstood. He hung upon a cross, pierced between two ugly thieves. He was God's child. Yes, he was God's child. My name is Pauly Hart. You can go to paulyhart.com. Thank you. Goodbye.
Pauly, before you leave, now earlier tonight, I know you said goodbye, but Zen is actually, he has arrived to the studio. He is backstage, and I want to bring him out promptly. However, earlier I made a statement. I said I wasn't sure how many books Zen had written. I said he can quote his actual number, and so when he comes up, maybe he can do that. I was guessing around 20-ish or something like that. But then you made a comment backstage because I said you have written dozens of short stories and probably just as many books, and you said 100. So is that an accurate assessment? Have you?
This is just a sample. Yeah, I've got 100 books out there.
100 books. All right. Now, before you go, I have one question that you could maybe answer for the audience tonight. What is that monstrous creature that monstrosity behind you. What are we looking at? And how do you pronounce that?
Adelphoi is art by Brom. I don't know if you can see his little signature, Brom. I grew up with him and didn't grow up with him. I grew up with his artwork, and it's very satanic artwork. So I figured what better way to redeem him for the cause than to get a license for this piece of art. This is called Snake Man. Adelphoi is the Greek word that means the progeny of my mother's womb. So everything in this book, it's my third collection of short stories is about Nephilim spirits, Nephilim demons, devils, werewolves, skinwalkers, lycanthropy, mermaids, all that kind of thing. So that's what that book's about.
All right, thank you for Pauly for being a part of this, and good night. Hang around if you like to, or not, and I will talk to you later.